Fi'al can be 3 or 4. An example of 3 would be Sami'a. Sami'a is a verb that means he heard in the past. Has 3 original letters. We can have 4. Dahraja. So Sami'a, let's do this now. What would be the rhyming for Sami'a in terms of fa'in la? What would be the scale of Sami'a? You know that there's no extra letters, so all of the letters are original. What would be the scale? Fa'ila. Fa'ila. And dahraja, again, we know all the 4 letters are original, nothing extra. What would be the scale? How would you weigh it? Fa, here, right? Fa'lala. 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 Can we have 5-letter verbs? Fair? No. Can we have 2-letter fi'als? No. It has to be 3 or 4. Okay. So again, the ism can have 3 letters, 4 letters, or 5 letters as the original root letters. The fi'al can have 3 letters or 4 letters only. And now we can go to al-harf. Harf can, this stuff doesn't apply to harf. Harf can be 2 letters, 3 letters, 4 letters, more or less. And the whole scaling thing doesn't apply to harf. So when you scale something in Arabic, it could only be al-ism or al-fi'l. Noun or verb, those are the things that you can weigh or scale using fa'in lam. You cannot do that with harf. Like min, in ala, in ila, and so on. These are huruf, which cannot be weighed. So you cannot say that ala, for example, ayn is against fa, lam is against ayn, ya, alif is against lam, and so on. It has no scale. Okay, so when it comes to harf, don't worry about what are the original, the whole concept of root letters doesn't apply to harf. Because harf cannot be changed. You cannot derive one harf from another. You cannot derive things from a harf. Harf is just that one harf, that one word is not derived from anything and nothing is derived from it. You have, for example, min, from. The only word that exists in that form is min in Arabic. You cannot derive anything from it. You cannot, and it's not itself derived from anything. On the other hand, if you see sami'a, things could be derived from sami'a. Sami'a, sami'a, and so on, they're all derived from it. And dahraja, mudahrizun. Dahraja means to roll, as in a rock rolling down a slope. That's what dahraja is. Yes.
So the concept of fi'l is different than it's used to scale.
Fa'ila.
Yeah. So that scaling technique is different than one of the 3 categories of what we call fi'l.
Yeah, al-fi'l means verb. But fa'in lam that we use to scale, that has nothing to do with it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they're separate.
Yeah, they're separate. Fa'in lam has nothing to do with verb. That's just a scale that we use. Okay, so fa'ina is different, and al-fi'l, the meaning of which is verb, is different. Okay.
How do you get to know, like, the second two words are derived from the first one? Is there a way to know, or, I mean, I just don't say.
How do we know this is
Why
derived
was
from?
derived from, like, the first one in the form, for the root word, but
Sami'a?
for the top one.
Al-fi'l.
Uh-huh.
Well, al-fi'l is just, I'm saying al-fi'l.
Oh, okay, it's not derived from there.
No,
Oh.
al-fi'l is the name.
Oh, okay.
Before we had here al-ism, right?
Okay.
Now we're discussing verb. That's why I wrote al-fi'l.
Oh.
Verb. So verb can have 3 letters or 4 letters as the original root letters. Okay? So doesn't apply to have. If you have no more questions, we can move on. So just memorize it. The concept of the number of original letters doesn't apply to have. It applies to ism and fi'l, and it applies in the following way. Ism can have 3, 4, or 5 original root word letters. Fi'l can have only 3 or 4 original root letters. And they both, ism and fi'l, can have up to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 letters, which will be extra letters. Those will be extra, in addition to the original letters that are in ism only 3 or 4 or 5, and fi'l only 3 or 4, no more. Any questions? Okay, so let's move on to this next topic. And now we are going to actually have different categories of ism and fi'l. We have different categories, different classifications of ism and fi'l. So it's analogous to, for example, saying that a human being can be male or female. Another category of human beings can be child or adult. You can have different classifications. So the same thing applies to ism and fi'l here. So let's look at the classifications of ism. And there is only one main classification of ism that we need to be concerned with. And that is that ism has, ism, which is the noun, the name of something, it can be one of these 3. It can be al, let's not put the al word. Masdar can be mushtaq, and it can be jami'. So anytime you see an ism, the noun in Arabic, it will be one of those 3. It cannot be outside of those.
Quick question.
Yes.